when you start, you are empty. Is an empty sheet, and then you start to put pieces, and then these pieces you start to put it together, and will be your strategy. Is a magic moment when you see that when you are finished, even that you don't win a competition. For me, is really a big satisfaction when I can make my program, and when my program is what I was expecting. Doesn't matter if you win or you don't win, but for me, the most that matters is the challenge with myself, and what I'm thinking, what I can make the days before, and what I really make then in competition. And there are, and let me tell you something, there are many competitions that I won where I was not happy, because even that I won, I was not making my program, and this make me not satisfied with my job. Then in one competition, you need to make your strategy. Your strategy is exactly one spot after the other. You're in your schedule. So this is really important, and this, if you make some mistakes here, you can throw away all your work that you made in the scouting day. So it needs to be very when you make your strategy, you need to be relaxed and focused. And so usually I make the strategy a couple of days before the competition, when I finish my scouting days, and I have not so much pressure. I'm not so close to the competition, so I have time. And probably to make your strategy, if you have a lot of spots, like in this competition, I had a lot of spots, a lot of different depth, and a lot of and there was also distance between some good spots and other good spots, and so you need to make a good schedule. On the first day, I started on a couple of rocks of scorpion fish. I could catch 4 fish in 2 dives. After that, I spent some time in more shallow water in some spots for sea breams, but I couldn't find nothing, it was empty. And then I go out to try for the grouper and the white grouper, and I could catch it in 2 dives, because the first shot was not so good. And I didn't really want to risk to lose it. After that, in the first competition zone, there was so few rocks, basically, and many athletes fishing in the same spots. So this was after the second hour was sharing everything, and so it was really difficult to catch the fishes. I could catch 12 in the first day, and I was not so sure to be on the first position. I knew that I could stay on the top, but not in the first position, because there was other athletes with many fish, like Oscar, and also there was Stepko with a big white grouper. But at the end, with my surprise, I was first on the first day. So the second day, I was really focused, because on the night between the first and the second day, Marco Bardi asked me how could be to start with another athlete. And for me, it was really challenging. I say, look, for me, in this moment, I really don't care if I would have somebody close to me. And I was really, really strong psychologically. And then in the second day, on the start, when I see the boat of Oscar Cervantes close to us, and I was sure that we was going on the first spot, I was full of adrenaline, and I knew that I could make some very, very, very good dives with 2 guns, and And we have been there. I was first to dive. I dove and I catch 2 scorpion fish, and then Oscar dived and he catch 1. And then the second dive, I could go down and catch other 2 scorpion fish, and I think he didn't manage to catch 1. And then the third dive, I could catch other 2 scorpion fish. So in the first 3 dives, I had already 6 scorpion fish, and Oscar, that was my direct competitor in the world championship, he was at 2 or 3 fish, so I had more than the double of the fish. So this for me was also one boost in my day, because after that I said, now that I go fast and I will catch more and more and more. And then we have been in the second spot. I catch the last of the 7 scorpion fish, and I close the scorpion fish species. And then we have been to the place that we had for sea breams and brown maggots. And then there I could dive again with 2 guns for 3 times. I caught 6 fish there. So in 1.5 hours, I had more than 15 fishes. And somebody that make competition knows what it means. And the difference between me and the second was already big. So I managed to finish my day with 22 fishes and 2 species. I was we was with Stefano really happy how the day was going. Was really magic. Is something that was I was dreaming and make it happen. E alla fine ce l'ho fatta, ce l'abbiamo fatta. In this World Championship, I had 3 main moments in my scouting days. The first was that I was like lost, because I was not finding the most important fish that everybody was thinking that would be the white grouper. I couldn't find good fishes, and I couldn't find simple fish to catch. So this was the first moment that was really not easy for me. And after this, I start to understand where this fish was living, and I start to understand also that probably would not be so important these species in the World Championship. And I start to find a lot of scorpion fishes, some very good spots for scorpion fish, sea breams and brown maggots. And so in this moment, I start to really believe that I could make it, and I could make it without a big fish. The third moment of my scouting was very bad for me. I probably went to a position of overtraining, and I was very tired, and I couldn't go to the sea and stay more than a couple of hours, and I was really tired. And in this moment, my team mates helped me, and it was difficult because you know, I invested a lot of time, of energy in this project, and was my dream from when I was a child to become world champion. And I knew that I had all the cards to play to become it, but my body was down, and this was I think the most difficult part of the days. I start to focus to become better. I was need rest, but at that point it was at the last days before the competition, so I needed to check the points, I needed to check the spots, and to make a right strategy. So I was focused that yes, I would never make a plan B. So I would never play a competition in low power, you know, in plan B mode. And so I focused to be good, to be good, to be good. At the end, and the last 2-3 days of scouting, I definitely became better, and I was close to my 100%. This was very important for me because also in my strategy was inside to fish and to fish with 2 guns, and in one dive. So I had to have my 100% of my psychophysic body shape, and at the end was like this. Really, this technique of these 2 spear guns in one dive helped me a lot in this one, in this competition, because we had in some spots a lot of fishes, but you know that to avoid the compression sickness, you need to make a recovery time between one dive and the other that in depths like 40-50 meters can go to 10-15 minutes. And so we have very few dives in our spearfishing day. So I did around 20-22 dives, and especially in the second day I did 19 dives and I catch 22 fishes. This is something that they say how it's happening. It's happened because in 6 dives I could catch 12 fish. Some of them, 6 of them was scorpion fish, and 6 of them was white sea breams. And this is a technique that I developed in the last years, the last 2 years, especially during pandemic. I was thinking how to catch more fish than other competitors, but with the same number of dives, because you know we cannot risk. We cannot make 35 dives in one day. You need to make between 20 and 25 in that depth to stay safe. And so one of my ideas was exactly this. I trained a lot. I trained in all my training normal day before in 6 months before and 1 year before the competition. My goal was not to go fishing and catch a big fish, like usually that for everybody can be very nice. My goal was exactly to dive and with 2 guns and catch 2 fish in one dive. And until I was not doing this during my day, I was not coming back home. This was really one target that after in the Italian Championship in beginning of June, I put for the first time in competition this technique, and it worked. And so I was pretty sure that I could catch at least scorpion fish, because are fish that are more easy to catch because they stay, they don't move. But I was in my side, in my training days in the summer, I could manage to catch sea breams and brown magger. And so I was thinking that during the competition, probably if I would find some spots with these fish, and these fish, you know, they stay in schools of fish, they are more than one. And so I was definitely trying this technique. And so this I did at the end, and it really worked. It's not easy, of course it's not easy, and I suggest, especially in young people that start now spearfish, or even experts that want to try, it really needs a lot of training. It really needs a lot of self-control, because you know you will have manage two situations in one dive. Already it's difficult to manage one fish in one dive. You imagine that you shoot and then you lift the gun and then you continue your action and with another gun and you shoot again and you take out the fish and you take the other fish, and all these is not so easy, and there are some problems that can come out from this thing, and so some delays. You probably ensure you will have some delays in the bottom. For this you need to be very trained. You need to have a very long bottom time, and you first of all you need to manage your dive. You need to know exactly when is the moment that you need to go up, and if you need also to leave the fish, and it's no problem, you need to go up. So this is a suggestion that I would give to somebody that want to try it. To organize one competition like this, it means for an athlete that months before, when you know where will be where the competition will be, and when you will know the period when the competition will be, you need to organize all the location. That is one very important thing, because you need to know where exactly to put the boat and to be very close to the competition area, and where to sleep, where to eat. There are many things, logistic, that it looks easy but are not so easy. When we talk about scouting, is not for all the athletes the same thing. In this period, it's like for me like a meditation period. I'm really focused in what I'm doing. Imagine that even I don't talk to my family. I stay there and focus, and without distraction, and I just think to the competition area, how to discover all the places, and which kind of species, and which conditions, and tides, winds, different kind of winds. So this is really at the end make the difference in that level. In this level, everybody is really trained. Everybody is really strong and experienced in spearfishing. But the details make the difference. How you evaluate spot? Okay, you see, and there are some fishes, but it's not the same. Every spot is the same. You can have spot with many fish, but difficult to catch, because probably the morphology of the bottom will not allow you to catch more than one fish, or to catch easy some fish. You know, there are places that are very big and difficult to fish there, difficult to dive in and to get close to the fishes, to the catches. And there are other places more small, more easy, and this also make the difference, because especially in the beginning of a competition, you don't want to dive and don't catch something, because these are the most important moments in a competition, the first 2 hours, where still the points are not shared with everybody, no? And you really want to go down and catch something also for your psychological condition, because if you don't catch the first dive, don't catch the second dive, don't catch the third dive, you probably you will go down psychologically. Because you cannot expect to win one championship at this level without having planned this for years. So when I started in 2016 with the spearfishing competition, I had some competition in Spain, in Palma, and in Croatia, in Rovigno. I won some of them, but then when I've been at the World Championship in Syros in Greece with my partner, also boatman Klaus, we was sure, okay, we can win, we can do, but actually we didn't have experience in this. So this for me was a big lose, because I was everybody was expecting me to win, and everybody, but they didn't know that I was not so experienced in spearfishing competition. Okay, I was a good spearfisher, I was a good free diver also, of course, but I was new to the place, but I didn't have the experience. And on the championships, on the strategy, on the it took at least 1 year for me to understand exactly what I was making wrong. And after that I make other competition, of course, others for example in Palma, and the Euro African in Malilozin. And then I started there to understand how it really works in Mediterranean, of course, in the championships, the strategy. And I learned a lot in the competition of the Master of Palma. I learned especially the importance of the bonus, and in one competition contest, and not only the big fish, not because, you know, competition is not like fishing every day. You're not going just to take one fish, one nice fish. You have points, you have a lot of rules, and you need to use these rules for you. So it's really like playing a strategy game, you know. Focus for this in Sardinia. I was really focused, but I had no pressure. I didn't have so much pressure. So this was, I think, the key. I could have my mind open and free for everything that could come, and make the good choices. I think the key to win this championship was to think outside the box. After 1 day of fishing, this is the right final of the fish in a oven with potatoes.